What's going on, guys? What's up, Cody? Feels good to get a stream in. We haven't done one in a couple days, I think. What's up, Deepanshu? Scotty Seep, what's up, bro? Thank you, man. How's everything? I'm doing good. I've actually had a really good week, so it's been solid. I'm excited to get the stream going. What's up, Jeffrey? Do you think we're likely to see a crash as severe as 2017 after this bull run? Still to be determined. I'm playing things level to level for now. Not trying to make a ton of high time frame predictions. Milos, what's up? Really D, Attila, AJ, Forrest Gaines, what's up, bro? Democryptus, what's going on, brother? Why'd you close your long? I don't know. I told you not to. I told you guys 46K was the time to get long. What's up, Paulina? We'll give people a little bit longer to get in here, and then we'll get started. I think I posted it in my Telegram. Yeah. Give me one sec, guys. How are you living? I'm living great. It's been a really solid week trading. What's up, Hakun? What do you think of ADA Excel blockchain? I have no idea. Rolly D says he's ready for up season. Me too, man. Okay, we gave people a little time to get in here, so I say we will jump right into it. Let's talk more high time frame first, and then I will dive a little deeper into this. So the 6-hour chart has been kind of money recently. Let me do this so I can draw over it, and I'll kind of talk you guys through what I was thinking the entire week. The Flying Dutchman says Big Ten champs. Let's go. Yes, sir. You know, it's been a great week trading, but Michigan winning the Big Ten, that might take the cake for what I'm most excited about. So that I was pretty hyped. Okay, so start of the week, we were down here somewhere. I was looking for a bottom, and we were able to get long around 45K. So it's around here. After we had this last dip down, and then it pushed up, nice engulfing candle or whatever you want to call it. I was convinced that the low was in, and 52K was where we were looking to take profit. And when I posted that on Twitter, I got a lot of negative feedback on it. A lot of people were like, no, we're going to 55, we're going back to 60, we're going up, whatever. And I was like, okay, you do you. But that honestly kind of made me a little more confident in my analysis and in taking profit at 52K. So we swept this high into 6-hour supply right here, and I took profit on that, and I said I was looking for 46K to re-enter my longs, and I didn't really expect it to come down in a straight line like that, but sometimes it works out better than you expect, and we kind of just straight downtrended right to 46. I mean, a little above that maybe. what did it get to? 46.2. And we've been pushing up ever since. So I do think that our near-term bottom is in here. We tagged the top of this daily demand perfectly. That wick was at 46.7, and that held really well. So I'm definitely bullish here. Equities, excuse me, equities finished the week strong. At the beginning of the day, we were selling off a bunch, but then we took out this low and pumped up since. And Bitcoin kind of did a similar thing. We dumped down here at the beginning. I think this was the New York session open, and then pumped up since then. So let's talk about what I am looking for next. Yeah, crypto Twitter is hilarious. When it got here and I said I was buying, everyone told me we were going to 44 or 42, and I'm like, okay, you're just making me more confident, so let's do this thing. But yeah, pretty funny. Crypto Twitter is an interesting place. One thing I will say is, don't ever let crypto Twitter change what you're thinking, because they're most likely going to be wrong. So these were the initial limits that I had on Bitcoin at 56.5. I got filled at 56.507, so I want to be as transparent as possible. I was looking at this demand level right here, and it also lined up with the top of this daily support. I'll change that color in a sec. SR, there we go. Make it a little thinner though. That level kind of gets lost, but I just kind of wanted to show you what that level was. So this was that high of that daily candle before the dump, good buyback, sweep the high, form demand, break in structure above this consolidation. So I knew this demand was a really important place. It was something I wanted to keep an eye on, something that I had been keeping my eye on. And we came right into that demand with daily SR confluence, and the rest is history. I had my stop below this low. I've now trailed them up a little bit. Took a little profit here at the mid-range and the daily open, added some more here, so I'm in like 1.5 size position. And if we tag this before pulling back, I'll take some more profit, and then add back on a retest above the mid-range. But overall, I think we have a green weekend. I think there are some good alts that I have my eyes on that I think could perform really well this weekend. And yeah, Bitcoin looks good. Bitcoin looks bullish. It's the best it's looked in a little bit. And everyone this whole time was just freaking out, thinking we're making new lows. And I was kind of just like, well, I hope I'm right, because everything is lining up. Like, there was a ton of confluence with my analysis where I thought we were going to go. But we'll see. I don't know if this is our long-term low. I do think it is kind of possible that we push up here to like 54 and then come back down to like 45. But that's a couple steps ahead of what we want to talk about right now. We want to talk about what we are thinking near term. And so I'm going to hide this, and I'm going to hide this just because it kind of crowds the chart a little bit. I'm going to hide the daily open, but just know that we have daily open confluence there. And then this is really the range I like right now. We have this range low. That's the beginning or the end of this sell-off, the first place that we bounced from, and then the high that we made after bouncing. We came down, took out this low, bounced, rejection at the mid-range, took out the low again, got above, kind of chopped around the mid-range, a little deviation below it, and then pumped up, took out the range high, and now kind of same thing. This was the bigger pullback we were kind of keeping an eye out for. There were also some nice fib confluence. The 618 was right around there, and like I say in every video, I don't use these by themselves, but sometimes I like it as confluence just to measure how big of a pullback something is. right into demand, and now we are back above the mid-range, which is really what I wanted to see, because this has been such a pivotal level. Like rejection here, support there, support here, immediate rejection there, equal highs there. Then I held this support. We did have this little deviation, got above it, pumped, initial support here, lost it, retest, resistance, resistance here, and then we finally got through it again. So I know you guys can see all that, but sometimes it's good to talk through it. And now I think we've regained that pivot, which is the mid-range. And I'm looking for, if it doesn't have to retest it, but if it does, I'll look to add more to my longs, and then it'll push up. Or maybe we get something like this, and then beginning of the new daily candle sell off a little bit, which would be more ideal, because I'd like to take some profit here before adding on at the mid-range. So yeah, that's kind of how I see things right now. Give me 1 sec to respond to a message. Okay. So yeah, ideally we push up to Monday's high first, and I'd like to take some profit there. That way I have decreased my exposure here at resistance, and then if we get this pullback right here that I'm looking for, then I'll add more exposure back on. But overall, yeah, I think we have a green weekend. I think things are looking pretty solid. So that's Bitcoin. If we want to talk a little higher time frame, I do like, here I'll move this in a sec, but there is a higher time frame range that I do really like. I think it fits really well, which is right here, and you can see, or no, it's right here, this leg up. You can see how well the mid-range held, resistance there, sweep into it here. And so flipping that 52K level would be super bullish. And I would be confident in more upside, definitely like 54, 55, but maybe if we do flip this, we get another push to here. That doesn't mean we're going to go straight through all-time highs. Maybe we reject there and then come back down here a little bit. Who knows? But I just wanted to point that out as something else worth keeping an eye on. Let me just make sure I have this on the right. There we go. And what's this high? 52,178. Okay. All right. So let me catch up with the chat really quick. When are we bringing back the lemons? Hopefully never. Any low caps? No. I've never invested in a pre-sale. Like, I think it's interesting. I just haven't found something I love yet. But if I do find a project I really like, I will invest in it. Not doing chart requests quite yet. So you got a long gauge, long range, and a weak range. I usually have a couple different ranges I'm working with. I think this is the most relevant one right now, though. Hello, Kaz in chat. What's up, man? What's up, Sean? Yeah, we'll get started now. Guten Tag, Kaz. What made you? 52K is what was basically a sweep into this, a sweep into supply, a sweep of a key high right into supply. After that happened on the 4 hour, like after we got this candle close, actually it might have happened even lower than that. Yeah, after we got this 2 hour close, I was like, okay, I think the top is in for now. And so those are the two technical reasons behind 52K. And then for 46K, it was this demand level right here, and then also this, the top of this wick, which was the daily demand that pushed us up. So those were the two reasons for 46. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to talk about Ethereum, Litecoin, DOT, I think this is one of the best looking alts. And then that might have to be it for today. I don't have a ton of time, but I want to at least get through some important things and answer a couple questions. Probably won't do too many chart requests today though, guys. What do you think of the S&P 500 and its bearish pattern? I have no idea what bearish pattern you're talking about, but we have been very correlated with equities recently, and so that's why this bounce right here is really good, and I think equities being closed this weekend could also be a bullish sign for Bitcoin. Okay. So does that make sense, guys, for Bitcoin? Does the Bitcoin analysis and plan make sense? Quickly to summarize, if we tag Monday's high, I'm going to take some profit. Retest of this mid-range and the daily open is a long. If we get above Monday's high, you long targeting 52K, and if we get above the range high here, I'm looking at 54K. That's all I can say right now. The rest, we're going to have to take it one day at a time, but I think those plans are very clear. At least to me, it's very clear what I'm planning to do, and as I hope that helps you guys. If it does, then great. Sushi and Sol. I hold Sushi and Sol both, but I don't think the lower time frames are as clear to me as other coins right now. Okay, Jeffrey says it makes sense, so I'm saying it makes sense. Everyone's going to say it makes sense. Cool. Cody says yes. All right. Moving on to Ethereum. We have, what are my levels? Daily demand here, which is what we had this sweep into, and that marked the bottom. And then here we have a daily breaker. So it was the last up move before the sweep of the low, and then we got our break in market structure. So those are my two gray areas, just so you guys know. Today, so the reason I added this long earlier today and this long on Ethereum was partially because of SPX. So we took out this low and started pumping, closed this candle. I was like, okay, that looks like it was just a stop run. I think SPX is going to get going. And because that correlation has been so high right now, I entered along on Ethereum. But I'll hide that because that's not the most important thing. So holding above I guess I can kind of delete this. You don't really need to see that. Actually, I'll hide it because I don't want to completely get rid of it. Holding above the daily breaker is a good sign. We swept this low, and I do think it also tagged this same hourly demand. Right now, for Ethereum to confirm to me that the low is in, I want to get above Monday's high and then also this 1605 level. But I think it's pretty clear that we've kind of broken this downtrend. Well, if we haven't, it's definitely getting close. But yeah, like I just said, for Ethereum to confirm to me that this is our low, which I do think it is, but I still would like to see a couple other things play out, and the most important one will be getting above Monday's high. And then also getting above this 1605. We do both of those things, and I think it opens up the door for Ethereum to at least go to 17. That's a really crooked line, but 1730 looks really good to me. Up to this high, 1730 and 1806 would be my first two targets for Ethereum. If we can do something like this, get above Monday's high, and then this 1605 level, which was our original high here that we swept and then rejected from. But I mean, all these things are pretty much going to look the same. They just have slightly different structures. Mitch, Daddy has entered the chat. What up, Mitch? Mitch is the homie. They all have pretty similar structures. They all pretty much took out these lows into some nice demand. We're getting great bounces here. But for me to be fully convinced, I would want to see a little bit more. So, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I am in one long from 1465, and I would be happy to compound that if we get something like this. But I will probably trim some off shortly. This will probably close as a sweep, so I will take some profit off if that does close as a sweep, because that is in my rules. Monday's high on Ethereum is roughly 1574. But yeah, Ethereum looks pretty solid to me, and it's got a lot of room to go up if it can break out from there. Okay. Litecoin, I think I have a weekly level here. I'll hide this for now. So same as Ethereum, it also has this really nice daily demand level. It was this last dip before our most recent big leg up. So right here, last dip, tells me that people were loading up their longs there, and they got enough filled to start pushing up price. And this bounced really nicely into this candle, which is some more daily demand. And now we are back above Monday's high. So Litecoin actually looks a bit stronger to me. Looks a little bit stronger to me than Ethereum, but I think they're both playable. Like, see, this Litecoin took out any stops resting below these lows, but didn't quite hit the demand level down there and the monthly open, but that is all good. So one level I'm keeping an eye on is January's high right here. I think it's January's high. Yeah. This previous all-time high, whatever you want to call it. Not all-time high, sorry. Local high. Is a level I'm keeping an eye on. That's about 187. If Litecoin can get above that, I think the low is in, targeting 215, targeting 250. And that is a important level to watch. We are above Monday's high, though. I do think that any pullback to this 176, 177 area would be a long, up to 187. So that would be a good sign. I do think that support would hold there, because I do have a bullish bias going into the weekend. And I would want to get in some swing trades if we can flip above 187. That's like my line in the sand to get in a swing to target 215, 250. 215 was a previous weekly open, I think. But I've left it on my chart because it's been a pretty pivotal level. And I also think you could mark this. We have 8 hours supply right here. So that's another level to keep an eye on. So that's Litecoin. Let me see. Am I concerned about the head and shoulders? No, I'm not. I don't really use classical charting patterns, and I only think classical charting patterns work out in certain contexts. It's another case where the context of the price action is far more important than the pattern itself. And so if we're sitting on top of high time frame support and it looks like this, I'm not going to be bearish because we're sitting on high time frame support, right? But if this is high time frame resistance and we get this, then yeah, it probably goes down. But this pattern by itself means absolutely nothing to me. If it's right under resistance, yeah, it looks bearish. If it's right on top of support, it looks bullish. That's the problem with these patterns. People start trying to see them everywhere and then use them anytime they see it without taking the context into account. this trend of coupling with stonks is going to hurt crypto in the future. It could, but I don't think it's going to last forever. It never does. Like we have a tight correlation for a while, and then the correlation fades, and then we'll get it for a little bit again, and then the correlation goes away. So I'm not too worried about it. All right, let me talk about DOT briefly, because I think this looks pretty good. So this is a previous weekly range right here. Mid-range right here, you can see prices traded around it a lot. But what I like about this, we're consistently making some higher lows, and we have really nice 4-hour demand right here, and the monthly open. So we were able to build up some stops right above that demand right here. They're not quite equal lows, but we put in some lows here and then came in with this candle, swept all the lows, and actually there's also an hourly breaker right here. So that's more confluence. Hourly breaker within 4-hour demand. I know I would classify it as a breaker because it was the up move before we came down to take out these lows, and then we got our break in structure from it. So those lined up really nicely. I didn't actually notice that at first because I was just looking at the 4-hour, but stops built up right here, wick below, into demand, fill a bunch of orders, pop. We got a really nice reaction from it, and now we are back above the monthly open. I think you hold above the monthly open and the mid-range, which is right here. So it could pull back a little bit, but I just want to see some candles close above it. It looks like we're going to get the daily candle to close above it, which is a bullish sign. Excuse me. So DOT looks really good to me. It already closed a 4-hour candle above the monthly open, retested the monthly open. As long as it doesn't get back down to like 33, I would have to put my stop loss here. But if it started losing this level and kind of closing below, not able to get above, I would probably cut the trade early. And I am targeting $40. So this is, I know a bunch of alts will probably go off if we get an alt run, but this is one of the cleanest setups that I think there is right now. I got in at around 33.7. Stop loss at this low, target that high. So this is my setup on DOT. So I think that concludes the main things I wanted to look at. Trying to see if anything has happened. Not too concerned with this. We're a couple hours from the daily close, so I think may just consolidate for a bit here. Might pop down here first and then push up, or it might tag Monday's high first and then give us the retrace. But I feel pretty confident in my longs, and right now can't really move the invalidation up. I think my stop losses could be at this low, but any move to here I would still consider to be a higher low, and the bullish thesis would still be intact. Okay, I got to go in a couple minutes, but I'll look at one or two really quick. Sounds like people want to see Adam. Adam, I guess I could review this because this was a banger of a trade. You feel a certain sense of relief, I guess, when it hits your target and then reverses right from there, because then you know you stuck to the plan and executed it pretty well. But let's see, was that a 2-hour? Yeah, we had a 2-hour level right here. Broke above it, breaking market structure, retest it. We also had the monthly open right there, so those were kind of the reasons for the entry. And then I was targeting Monday's high. So that played out really well, but I guess you guys probably want to know how to get in and not what my trade was. So yeah, this one looks a little unclear to me right now. I think you could long it or short it at either of the range extremes right now, but I don't want to be doing business right here around the mid-range when we're just kind of trading in this funky structure. But if alts really do start going, I would look for Atom swing longs above 21, targeting 26, 27. Link, and then I'll look at Sol, and then we'll probably call it good. Okay, Link. I like the untapped highs there. Didn't quite hit it here, so I think stops on shorts are building up there. We took out this low. We're just getting back above Monday's high, and flipping this consolidation is a bullish sign. Link actually looks pretty solid to me. I can delete this from now. I think you could long this with a stop there, target there. It's probably 2.5, 2.3 R maybe a little less. Oh yeah, way less, 1.5. Still not bad. I don't think you could really put your stop any closer. I guess you could have it above that low, but Link in general does look bullish to me here, and I think those highs are a magnet for price. And that was kind of the floor before breaking down. You see we have some daily support right here, right there. So a lot of nice confluence with that target. Link looks pretty solid, and if the market goes up, I think Link will be going up with it. So you kind of just have to pick which alts you want to play. Sol, this pulled back more than other coins recently. We can kind of gauge that with the monthly open, but this was a breaker, probably 4 hour. Yeah, 4 hour. Well, not quite. We kind of have equal lows there. I guess you could call it ignored supply or whatever. Flipped supply. Whatever the case, this SR, we didn't quite tag that, has kind of held price up. That's from a little while ago. Let me see the current Monday's range. Sean in the chat, Sean draws charts, actually just made a new Monday's range indicator. So if you guys want to use that, check him out on Twitter and he'll tell you how to get it. But yeah, it's a cool tool. I would get long on Sol if it can flip the monthly open and get back above Monday's low. Then I think this would just be a stop run deviation, whatever you want to call it, below Monday's low, and I would be targeting Monday's high there. So I'm sorry that this had to be a shorter stream, but I hope I got to cover your coin if it was one of the few that I covered. Hope this is helpful. Hit the like and sub button to help me with the YouTube algo. Sorry it was a 34-minute stream, a little shorter than usual, but I just have some things I need to do this afternoon, evening. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If I didn't get to the chart request this time, I will cover it in the next stream. Hopefully I will do a stream tomorrow or Sunday with like a weekly outlook. But thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate all the support, and I'll talk to you soon. Let's make some money this weekend.